You are standing in the darkness of a cramped second-floor hallway in the Setagaya neighborhood of Setagaya, Tokyo. The air is cold, but the metallic tang of blood is thick and suffocating. Beneath your feet, the floorboards don't just creak, they stick. You aren't alone. Just a few feet away, in the quiet of a child's bedroom, a shadow moves. You hear the rhythmic, wet sound of a knife slicing through fabric and flesh. The killer isn't rushing, he isn't panicked, he is methodical. He has already ended the lives of a father and a 6-year-old boy, and now, as you watch from the peripheral of this nightmare, he turns his attention toward a mother and daughter huddled together in a desperate, final embrace. He doesn't flee into the night, instead, he sits down, opens the refrigerator, and begins to eat. On December 31, 2000, while the rest of Tokyo prepared to ring in the new millennium, a scene of unimaginable horror was discovered at the residence of the Miyazawa family. Haruko Asami, concerned that she couldn't reach her daughter Yasuko, entered the home next door only to find the bodies of her son-in-law, Mikio, 44, her daughter, Yasuko, 41, and her grandchildren, Niina, 8, and Rei, 6. The investigation by the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department revealed a timeline that defies standard criminal logic. Entry. Around 11:30 p.m. on December 30th, the killer entered through a small second-floor bathroom window by climbing a fence and an exterior air conditioning unit. The initial attack. The killer first strangled 6-year-old Rei as he slept. Mikio, hearing the commotion, rushed upstairs and engaged in a violent struggle. He was stabbed repeatedly with a sashimi bocho, fillet knife, part of which broke off in his skull. The second phase. The killer then attacked Yasuko and Niina. When the initial knife failed, he went to the kitchen, grabbed a santoku knife, and finished the massacre with brutal efficiency. The long stay. Most killers flee within minutes. This perpetrator stayed for anywhere between 2 to 10 hours. The Setagaya case is often cited as one of the most frustrating in history because the killer left behind a mountain of evidence. He didn't just leave fingerprints and DNA, he left his entire wardrobe. The police recovered a hat, a scarf, a hip bag, a jacket, and a sweatshirt. Analysis of the sweatshirt revealed it was one of only 130 ever made. Inside the hip bag, investigators found trace amounts of sand that originated from the Nevada desert, specifically near Edwards Air Force Base. His shoes were Slazenger sneakers, a British brand, in a size and style primarily sold in South Korea. Perhaps most bizarre was the killer's behavior post-murder. He used the family computer to browse the internet, consumed 4 bottles of barley tea, melon, and several ice cream containers, and even used the family's first aid kit to treat his own wounds. He left his own waste in the toilet, which provided police with his final meal, string beans and sesame seeds. Despite having a full DNA profile, the killer has never been matched to any criminal database. However, modern genomic testing has offered a glimpse into his heritage. This has led to theories that the killer may have been a foreign national or a member of the U.S. military stationed in Japan, explaining why his DNA isn't in the Japanese system. The Setagaya killer does not fit the profile of a typical, disorganized, or organized offender. He is a chilling hybrid that suggests a specific type of psychopathology. 1. Extreme narcissism and entitlement. The decision to stay in the home for hours is the most telling behavioral trait. This isn't just chilling, it is a display of total territorial dominance. By eating their food, using their bathroom, and browsing their computer, he was consuming the family's life even after they were dead. This suggests a killer who felt a profound sense of entitlement to the victim's space and belongings, possibly fueled by a deep-seated resentment toward middle-class stability. 2. High pain tolerance and dissociation. The killer sustained significant injuries during his struggle with Mikio Miyazawa. Rather than panicking from the pain or the risk of bleeding out, he calmly self-treated using the family's bandages. This indicates a high level of affective flattening, an inability to feel fear or stress in the way a normal person would. He was able to shift from extreme, explosive violence to the mundane task of eating ice cream, suggesting a compartmentalized or dissociative personality. 3. The thrill seeker profile. The entry through a small bathroom window and the use of a knife, a personal, high-effort weapon, suggests the motive was likely the experience of the kill rather than a specific grievance. However, The sheer amount of evidence left behind, almost as if it were a costume he discarded, points toward a burn the ships mentality. He didn't care if he was identified because, at that moment, he felt untouchable. 4. Adolescent or immature elements. The consumption of multiple ice creams and the test of courage feel to the break-in led some profilers to initially believe the killer was quite young, late teens to early 20s. There is a juvenile quality to his post-offense behavior that contrasts sharply with the lethal efficiency of the murders themselves. It suggests someone who functioned at a high level of physical capability but had the emotional development of a much younger, more impulsive individual. The Setagaya family murder remains a scar on the Japanese psyche. Despite a 20 million yen reward and over 240,000 investigators having touched the case, the man who ate ice cream in a house of shadows remains a ghost.